Hey everybody, and thanks for watching. This is Peter from the National Team, and in this video we're going to look at how to create a new donation tax receipt setting in Donor Engage. So we're going to log into Dynamics and we're going to go to the main menu. Normally we'd go to Donor Engage, but we're going to go over to the right of Settings, to this guy right here, Donor Engage Setup. So in previous videos and knowledge base articles, we've looked at the first two of a three-step process. First, we created our word merge output configuration. These are the records that tell the system to generate the receipt as a PDF and either send it through email or store it to a folder in SharePoint where you can print it, fold it, and stuff it and send it off to your donor. The second step was to create our word merge template. This is the record where we're uploading your word merge document file and mapping those fields together. And we're giving it a name, and we're connecting it back to this word merge output configuration. So this is created first, which is then connected to this. And then the third step is what we're doing now, which is this record over here, donation tax receipt settings. So a donation tax receipt setting is an actual field that you're used to seeing. You just didn't necessarily think of it as being in this location. So these three records are all chained together. Word merge output configuration is connected to a word merge template, and the word merge template is connected to the donation tax receipt. So where these are visible is when you're doing data entry. If I go and enter a donation gift, we're talking about creating a record that's going to be what you select here in this lookup. And we see all kinds of different receipt templates. And you at your agency can have as many as you want depending on whether you have different versions of the receipt, different versions of the thank you letter. Say you might have one for bowl, one for general donations, one for something else, different versions for print versus email. Those can all be in this list. And the list of records that we see here are these tax receipt setting records. So what we're going to do is build a new value that's going to be selectable in this list when you're doing data entry. So again, we're going to go to Donor Engage Setup and Donation Tax Receipt Settings. And we see here the same list that we just saw when we were looking at the donation data entry form, just listed in a slightly different way. So we're going to hit New, and we're going to start populating these values. Now the activities and notes over here we can disregard. We're generally not going to use those. It's just this little form right here, and this is actually the most straightforward part of this whole process. If you can get through word merge output configurations and you can get through word merge templates, this is going to be easy. So we're going to fill in each of these values. The receipt setting, this is the name of that record. This is what your users are going to see in that drop-down menu when they're picking the value at the time they're entering the gift. So we want this to be as meaningful as possible. We're actually going to fill this one in last, and that'll make sense once we get to it. Our receipt status is going to default to active. We want to leave that there. The only option is inactive, and then your users aren't going to be able to select it. Description can be filled in, but it's generally not necessary. It's really only useful if the receipt setting name on its own isn't descriptive enough to explain what this record is, so that's usually left blank. And then we have receipt type. Now this is the most important out of all the fields. This is telling us whether this is for charitable gifts or non-charitable gifts. If you choose charitable, when this record is used and that receipt type is generated, it's going to get a tax receipt number. That's a unique charitable tax receipt number that's going to go on a receipt that they can use to deduct on their taxes. If you select non-charitable, this is going to also generate a receipt document, but it won't have a number on it. This is going to be useful in scenarios, say, where you have sponsorship for bowl, and the company that's sponsoring want a receipt, but you know that it's not eligible for tax purposes. They just want something for their own internal bookkeeping. So usually it's going to be charitable. In very rare cases you'll choose non-charitable, and if you choose non-charitable you'll want to be very careful about how you name these so that you don't make a mistake in picking one versus the other. So we'll choose charitable. Then we're going to pick a word merge template. So remember, we said that in this menu system we first built an output configuration that connected to a word merge template, and now we're at the next stage, which is the word merge template is going to connect to this record that we're building right now, and that's at this field. So we're going to see a list of all the word merge templates that we've already built, and we just need to choose one. So you can look here at the date and time to find the one that you've selected recently. Just for example's sake, I'm going to choose this one, and then we're going to get to the owner field. This is going to be your username, and we recommend that you leave this the way it is. So now that we've got all these fields filled in, we get back to this receipt setting. It's blank. The rule of thumb that we recommend is that the word merge template and the receipt setting be given the same name. And likely that's also the same name as the Word document that you uploaded when you made this template. And the reason we recommend this is because quite often you have a whole big list of records and documents that are all floating around, and it can be easy to get confused because we're connecting a bunch of records to each other. We want to make sure that they are really unambiguous in terms of what gets connected to what. So we're going to actually name this exactly the same as the word merge template. Once this is all done, all of our warnings are gone, all of our required fields are filled in, we can hit save and close. Now in this example, this is already something that exists in the system, so I'm not going to save it, I'm just going to cancel it, but then you see it right here. So you would see a new value added to the list. So when I enter a new donation gift, in the tax receipt setting field, I now see that value that I added. So now you've completed the process of adding a new tax receipt to the system. You can go ahead and start doing your data entry. Thanks, and have a great day.